Mariam Ndagire is a performing artist who started out as an actress in school, senior 3, 2 there, and it was I started out as an actress in school. Then I went into business, like commercial theater, and then I started my own company, theater company. Then now I'm an entertainment entrepreneur because I do a lot of different types of entertainment, film, music, theater, promotion, everything.
So let's take a little time back when you were starting. How would you say theater was? How was Ugandan theater then?
When I was starting, because I started from the audience.
Oh, okay.
Yes. When I was in school, I was a fan of the Ebonies.
Wait, then
Jimmy
they were there.
Katumba and the Ebonies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, like at times you think they just
Started
showed
yesterday.
up, yeah, like
No,
yesterday.
no. They started out. If you look at the rise and falls of the rise and fall of Idi Amin, Jimmy Katumba is performing. They actually brought him on board to perform in the project because he was there. The Ebonies were there as a music group.
Okay.
They used to incorporate a little drama into the music. And
okay.
Yeah.
So you were an audience member.
Yes, I was an audience member. I during my childhood, I watched my first play was Amakula ga Kulaba, I think.
Byron Kawadwa?
Yes. I watched it and I didn't know what I was watching actually, but it was at the National Theatre. When I recall, eventually I found out it was at the National Theatre. So I don't know how I ended inside the theatre, but as I was watching, I was thinking I was watching TV. Yes, because there used to be dramas on TV then. So I was thinking I'm watching TV because I was seeing the shape of the theater was like a TV screen. So I was like, maybe I'm watching TV. Then when we went out, when the play had ended, we went out. I don't remember what I watched that time. But when we went out, what amazed me was I saw the people who were on TV outside. And I was like, the people who are in the TV are here. They don't even know that was not a TV. It was a stage, a theater stage.
Wow.
So the next plays I watched, Samba Kaimbira, at the then Africa Foundation, which became Pride Theatre, and now Bethel something. Yeah. So we watched a lot of Bakaimbira, and then I watched the theatricals, Mr. Christopher Mchiri, and then the Ebonies.
So how was the audience accepting these plays then? Was it vibrant?
Yes. Full houses. Yes, we used to get, I remember one of the plays of Bakaimbira that I watched at the Africa Foundation, that Bakaimbira Pride Theatre where it was. The auditorium was flat. Like there were no levels for everyone to be able to watch. So I remember the people were so many, and it was over Eid Day. They used to let us go watch on Eid, those public holidays, Eid, Christmas. So that time it was Eid, and I had to stand on a bench at the back because we were children. You couldn't watch, you couldn't sit and see. So we were standing on benches at the back. That's how we watched the play. So there used to be full houses. Ebonies used to have shows from, I think it was a norm. There were plays at 10. There was a 10 a.m. show, then 2:30, and an evening one. So the students used to watch the morning show. So for Ebonies, I was at Kampala High School, which is now the Aga Khan High School. We used to run from class and come to watch the Ebonies. I don't remember if they used to give out tickets to students, But I remember we used to have tickets and we used to come and watch. And theirs was different because it was a musical. It felt different. It felt like we were over tuli mu bazungu. That's what we used to feel like. And the experience itself at the Ebony's shows, they had the spectacle. They used to do very good stage work and propping. It was so beautiful.
So like my very first experience with theater was here, then Pride, then National Theater. Like those vibrant days, how many theaters are we talking about? Were they more than those three?
Okay, when we were still in high school, there was Pride, Riverside, National Theatre, of course, then Biworogoma. You see where the clock tower was?
Oh, yeah.
There's an Indian temple with two lions at the stairway.
Yes.
That was called Biworogoma.
It was a theatre?
Yes. And it used to have a lot of people. So those were the main ones in the city center. There were some other smaller ones. I've said, did I talk about Pride Theatre?
Yes.
So there were some other smaller ones like Bohomex Theatre, which is around where the Radio 1, then you cross and there's that building of, I think, Church of Uganda, somewhere behind there. Yes. Then in the outskirts, there were a lot of theatres. Boys, there was Blue Star. There's Jajasi Nancy somewhere. I don't remember. Was it Matuga?
Nansana.
Nansana. Then there were many in several places. There was Terrace View near the Kawempe police station. There were many theatres. Theatre was the thing. Because I think it was just after the war, the people were scared of moving out, going to places which are not secured very well. Because in theatre, you get into a building, there's a security person, and the place is, you feel safe. So, yeah, theatre was booming.
So let's talk about, I think personally I got to meet much of your productions, all productions you contributed to from my brother, who happens to be an actor. And most of the shows that were staged most of the times here were usually about family, conflict in family. Like, why were those storylines very important at that time?
We were doing things that were close to people's hearts and things that they could relate to easily. We knew that theatre is about society and impacting on it to change. So we used to bring the conflicts of family so that people who are watching feel like they are watching themselves, to go back and correct what is wrong. And I think we used to impact, because there is a time Afande Kayanje give a story about Wakayimbira. There was a play called Ensekeze Nganda. Ensekeze Nganda was about families extended families and their problems. So I think he had a problem like that at his home. So when he came and watched as a guest of honor, he went back and came back as a normal audience person with a whole line of his family. People who were at his home. He brought everybody. They sat, he said, I want 2 lines. They sat, and at the end of the play, when he took them back home, everybody packed up their belongings and went back to their homes in the village. Yeah, so they saw that they were being a burden. That's what
Yes.
we used to look at. To impact, to someone to be able to say that is me, I feel like that is my sister or my brother, and we should change here and there. So I think that's why we used to do a family. And after the war and that time that followed, family was almost broken. The unit was almost broken, and this was something that was trying to bring them back together. Yes.
Oh, that's pretty amazing, and how theater used to resonate to people at that time. Uh, by 2000, theater was still a very big thing.
Yes.
Because I feel like the only reason why Charles Sankubuge's candidature made a lot of sense was because theater was a big thing.
Yes.
And then what happened?
What happened? Now, in the end of the 90s, around 97, 98, theater was big. And then the FM stations started. And the FM stations were in English. Sanyu, Capital, and all that. Then Peter Sematimba and Buganda collaborated for CBS. And it started. When it started, Peter thought about what would bring the audience quickly to listen. He brought the stars, and the stars of then days were the theater stars. So he brought Katoruwama, Mulindwa Mwonge, Abe Mchibi. He took everybody there, and people listened to the radio stations, and theater went on to boom because they were listening to them. Then they would want to even watch them more in theater. Then these jobs became real jobs. They started out as gigs, then they became jobs. Where we had Abe Mchibi becoming a programs director. He couldn't have enough time for theater, though he loved it so much. But the time that he used to put in was not the same time that he was putting in then. Then I'll talk about myself. Myself, we used to perform songs, not perform, sing. Go to studio and sing songs for theater purpose. Songs that were supposed to be in the play. Then the audience started saying they wanted those radio cassette tapes of the music that we were singing, that I was singing. They wanted to take it home. So they took it home. And then they started demanding for more.
Okay.
Then the music went to radio. And it went out of hand. We could not handle.
So could I say you became an accidental artist? An accidental singer?
I tell people that and they don't want to believe. They don't want to hear it. But I became a musician accidentally. My passion is in theater, but music swept me off my feet, and I went to look. I tried to look back, and I couldn't. One thing was leading to the other.
So that means most of the songs you did at first were initially meant for the theater plays.
Yes, please. Because the first song that was played on radio, my first song to be played on radio, was Murongo Wange. Murongo Wange was in a play, Afri-Talents play called Safari. Did you watch that?
No.
No? It was a play on a ship, on a ship, and there was that song, Murongo Wange. And when CBS was starting, Mulindwa Mwonge played that song. Ugandans used to listen to Congolese music, what? Now they were hearing their own, someone singing in a language they're close to, and they loved the song. The next thing they were telling me, where is the next song?
Wow.
Next thing I knew, there was a Chitobero.
And you had to perform.
And Sematimba said, you're going to perform. and I was going to perform in Nachivo Stadium. And I was very confused. One thing was leading to the other, and then the weddings began. And I had to become a wedding singer.
Hi.
So until 2009, when I said I am done with singing.
So like, I don't know if this is even a fair assessment, but could you say that your personal success, you, Abe, and the others somehow strangled theater a bit?
I will not say somehow, it did. Because we were the heart of theater then. And we diverted to other things. Not us only at Bat Valley Theatre, but even the Bakayimbira.
Because Simba had
they took
Charles.
after CBS had started out with the Katos and Abe, then Simba sprang up and it took Senkubuge. So it was the norm, getting a theatre artist, a popular one, you put on radio and you station, just the ratings go up. So that's where theatre's death began. Not death.
Of course, I see
disease.
Super also brought.
It brought us.
Mulindwa Mwonge.
Mulindwa, Bwanika, your brother. Then everybody theatre was there. We even went into Kadongo Camp because the Kayembas, there was someone called Kayemba used to be with another one, I've forgotten the name, who died. They were in Sebata's band. So we brought them on board, and people on radio, they wanted entertainment. And the only good entertainment was in theatre. Then.
Wow.
Yes.
It's now it's weird looking at it that one. And then of course, do you think the fact that we were now able to listen to these people every day killed our appetite to see them?
Yes, because the jokes, we became lazy, and we used to pick from our plays. We picked from the plays, lines and situations, and took them to radio. Then someone is like, hey, I'm hearing these people Monday to Friday. Why then should I go to theatre? Yeah.
Actually, right now it makes sense. No, because there were those times like you would come to this place to see my brother, and like you met very many people here, and you kind of felt like you saw them. It was never the same when they announced that they are having a new play as it was before.
Yes. So it ate us slowly by slowly. It was like, it was not, you couldn't tell it would eat us up, but it ate us up slowly by slowly, and people started thinking bigger. At the beginning, we were thinking theatre because we were out of school and we've learned theatre and we want to do theatre. Then we started, these people splashed money in our faces. And you wanted money. You wanted to go to the next level. So you're like, hey, let me go there and try and do this. Let me go and sing at a wedding. And then the next person will tell you, I saw you at a wedding. I want you to come and sing. You say, I'll perform for 500,000. I'll give you 1 million. So you're like, hey, then the people who are selling music are like, we want another album, and another one, and another one. So when it became about money, we got lost. Somewhere, somehow, we got lost.
There was a time many theatre groups started showing up, and it was so hard to know which one is which. Because I think for us, the ones we knew majorly at that time was Bakaimbira, Diamond, and Afri Talent. But then it must have been around 2008. We had scavengers. There were many things that are going on. Do you think those kind of divided or affected the audience in a certain way?
I think because these people, some of them were with us, no, I think not with us. They were near us, and they were seeing the gap because we were busy with other things. So they wanted to fill the gaps. And the way they were filling the gaps, because we had the way we became theater practitioners was we were young, then we started out, then we went to university and we studied, then we understood theater differently and came back and did things the right way. These people did not do any training of any sort. They were just picking what we were doing. They were looking from the sides. Then they jumped in. So they were bringing in work that was not right, half-baked. And the audience, because they were hungry for work, they watched. And then they were disappointed. And they went away. So the audience used to come to theater. They want to watch Mariam with Kato and Abe and everybody. And Mariam that day is not there. She's at a gig. Then the MC thing also came and ate us up.
Oh.
We have a wonderful Mujuka we've built. We have Wycliffe. We have Abe, and you can't get them all in one box because some have gone to MC. So money.
Basically,
money.
A lot of money.
Yes.
Became the problem of
Yes,
theater.
Yes. And we were getting money in theater. I just wanted to try out filmmaking because it's also a form of storytelling. I wanted to go deeper. I felt like theater was in a box, yeah, and I wanted to move to go tell my story in other spaces. Yes.
And at that time, you are self-taught.
Yes, I self-taught. I went and read my books because when I looked at what I had come with from theater, because at Makerere they were not teaching us filmmaking. I did plays for radio and stage. So I didn't do for film.
Okay.
And I had to see how my creativity could get onto the screen. So a friend of mine told me you have to buy books and read about film to make the right things, to do the right things. Otherwise you bring theater to screen and think that it is filmmaking. And she was right, because when I read, I saw that it was structured differently. There was not a lot of talking. It was more of sometimes even moments are silent. In theater we don't do silent moments.
Yes.
You have to talk. Yeah. So I had to learn a lot of things, and I really learned a lot of things. And eventually people started coming to the filmmaking field as well, Labava theater. And I think even that migration hurt theater in a way, though now we've known how to balance it. We've come to learn how to balance it, because filmmaking is just for, if you schedule well, you can go and make a movie for a month, then you come back to theater.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But of course, your first film was Down This Road I Walk.
Yes.
How much of it was theater?
How much of it was theater?
Yeah, because I want to imagine at that time, you were still figuring out how this whole film thing works.
Yes.
So how much of it was written the way a theater play would be written?
All of it, I would say, in the beginning, until I got a book about filmmaking. It's called How to Write a Selling Screenplay. Then it started showing me what I had to take out and what I had to add, I had a chunk of lines. People were speaking like a very big block of lines. And another one also speaks a block of lines, not in a monologue way, but a block of lines. And I read that does not happen in film. So I started learning on job, slowly by slowly. Down this road I walked, there's a moment where we actually acted theater. There's a scene where we were with Wawuyo Michael Senior. And the way we acted that whole scene was very theatrical. It was so theater.
And I can just imagine how that was, because that was a time when technically everyone making film was learning.
Yes.
Who knew what was right and what was wrong?
Wawuyo. Because he had worked on a few international projects, but he didn't even care to tell us that this is not done this way. He just did what he was doing correctly, maybe accidentally, and we were copying. Yeah, so we understood that it was about emotions on their face, not a lot of gestures from him.
Yeah.
So he was taking, you know how he's a simple guy.
Yeah.
He was taking us through lightly. He was just carefully taking us through what is supposed to be done. We had a camera, a DOP. The person we called a DOP was a news cameraman from WBS.
Okay.
Oh. And we all, none of us had been on film apart from Uncle Wawuyo Michael Senior. Nobody, none of us. So we did whatever we did in a theater way.
How important is the theater experience to an actor in film?
When you're acting in theater, you learn to be deep. You get into your character and don't hop out at any moment, because there's no take two. You're acting for the audience, and they are looking at you and they expect the best out of you. So there's no moment that you get out of character. And you have to make them believe. If you're sad, you have to be sad, that even your voice has to be sad, and your toes and hair have to be sad. So I think that is something that a person who acts for screen might not easily get to know if they don't have that background and they've not studied acting professionally. Because when you're teaching actors for film, you will tell them you have to write a biography. We didn't do that when we were doing theater. You have to write a biography, you understand this character, you know when they are sad and why they are sad and what's the background and all that. In theater, because of the practice you're doing every day in the rehearsals, you get to understand the character and the other characters that you're acting with, helping you create a holistic character. So someone who is coming from theater will quickly get into character and stay there, more than a person who just does filmmaking. Some of them have first to get into the method acting mode. Yeah. And it takes time to get there. You don't just snap and get in. So a theater person, you just tell them the character. Because read the lines, you just tone them down.
Does method acting work in theater?
No. I think it works. Because if it's not method acting, you might get off stage and go back when you don't remember what character you were. You get it? So I think in theater we are method actors all the way.
Wow.
Yeah. Because you're angry and you get off stage and you're angry, so that you get back on stage when you're still angry. That's method acting.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So let's talk about one of your productions. It was called Tendo Sisters. In 2016 or 15, you like compressed it into a theater play.
Yes.
Like why?
Why would be two-sided. One, my calling of being a theater practitioner was there. Theater was calling me back.
Okay.
Secondly, the audience wanted it. It was a demand for the audience. You know, when we are in this commercial theater, you do what the audience wants. So the audience wanted, they loved the Tendo Sisters. So we brought them to stage where they would see them physically. It had its problems. Some of the actors had never been on stage. So transforming an actor, that's what I told you, that transforming a theater actor into a film actor is simple. But transforming a screen actor into a theater actor is the most difficult thing I've come across.
So how many of these people had been on stage before?
Nanduja and I.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just the two.
And maybe Malay. But actually in the first chapter he was there, in the second one he wasn't. It was hard. They could not speak past the second line of the auditorium. I had to train them. I had to tell them that your emotions that you're showing us on face, people don't see them. They are seated at Z. They can't see your emotions. You have to exaggerate. We need the gestures. We need movement. And it was hard because the first plays we had, the first performances, the audience was like, "Mogerenyo."
I can just imagine them shouting and
they freaked out. They get back and tell you, people are saying we speak up. There's a show we had that was full to capacity, and people were shouting, "Mogerenyo, and all that. So I had to, when I got on stage, my character was a wild one.
Yeah.
I used that character, the wild character, to get out of the character and become me, to tell the audience to behave. Yeah.
That's like breaking the fourth wall.
Yes. That's what I did. I broke the fourth wall, I talked to them, and sanity prevailed. Because they were wild, they were telling us, you know, when you're watching something on screen, you are like a third party. You are involved. You throw in your comments. You have your own imaginations. You think the play is supposed to go this side, and they were doing all that. Mukube, vayo. You know, in theater, that disorganizes a person who is acting.
Yeah.
And it was really disorganizing. So I had to break out. I broke the fourth wall, spoke, and told them, now the play is beginning once again. Behave. I got back into character. And the people who were watching, who were theater goers, clapped.
But you see, that's the thing that it's like the bloodline when it comes to what we were talking about earlier, the uptown theater and downtown. At times, it feels like what people call downtown theater feeds off that energy. Like Mariam walks on stage and like, oh, you're wafe, and like it works perfectly.
Yes.
In what people call downtown theater, it's like everyone is silent. Like you walk on and
own the space.
You own the space. Like no one claps because you don't expect them to clap. In fact, clapping will kind of
take you off.
Like everyone will be like, why is he clapping? So just balancing that, like you guys do not get distracted when you walk on and everyone screams because it's you that has walked on.
Yes, we are used to that.
and you know they are having fun like that.
Yes, you know they're expecting something nice out of you. They appreciate you. It's like the culture of okufuwa in the music industry.
Yeah.
Long time ago, the uptowners didn't want the kubafuwa. And for us, when you sing and people bring money on stage, it's like
they've appreciated. Yeah.
Thank you so much, because thank you is coming to your show, but thank you so much is getting off their seat and bringing you that token of appreciation. But if you do that at a jazz show, it might look funny.
but what are the dangers in that? Suppose you're coming on stage, you're very famous, people scream, and probably your coming in was supposed to be sad, and then people scream, like, don't you just lose the mood in a way? Because you came on and everyone was very, very happy to see you. Are you going to keep vibrant, or you're going to continue with the sad narrative you had to go through?
To me, as a seasoned actor, it's okay. I can manage because I'm expecting it. But sometimes these young actors, they don't know how to handle it. Actually, sometimes when they don't clap for them, they feel bad.
In 2019, you started the theater, the Performing Arts and Theater Festival.
Theater and Performing Arts Festival.
Theater and Performing Arts Festival. What happens at the festival?
What happens at the festival is we have groups, theater companies that are given a theme. They are given a theme at a workshop. So we first register them. We know the people who are going to come. Then we call in the writers and directors for an orientation. They get the theme, and we take them through what the do's and don'ts of writing for theater. Then it's a competition. The festival is about competition, but we have workshops and trainings and forums that happen as it goes on. After the orientation, we take like 2-3 months to come back for the presentation. We also have an actors workshop where we also tell them the do's and don'ts and what the judges will be looking out for. And then the festival week starts. With the judges' marks and comments. Then eventually we get the top 3 to present at the awards night as the judges do their final tallying. And the winner goes home with money and accolade. And then we also have awards for the best actors and best actresses. Then we have a monologue challenge where we have a winner. Yeah, it is about bringing back theater to life.
So last year I saw there were quite a number of workshops, some around marketing, some around acting. I think the most interesting one for me was the one that was trying to understand what exactly happened to theater.
Yes. We called it getting theater out of limbo.
Yeah, getting theater out of limbo. Which is something I would want to come back at the end of it. But after that, there was the Friday Night Lights launched. What's Friday Night Lights about?
As we were in that forum about getting theater out of limbo, we found out through the discussions and the interactions that the people who seem like the fathers of theater, because I won't say grandfathers, we are in between. After the grandfathers, the Byrons and Mugabe, now we are like the fathers of theater, have stayed here, and the new breed is not being seen. So we decided, myself and Abe Mchibi, to ensure we launch a new actor or theatre practitioner, a new thespian, every last Friday of the month. They stand out, they do what they do best, they get their team. It's like they are producing this project, but they are acting as well. They have to learn to put together a show. We don't help them in any way, because through the trainings we had in the workshop, we know what to do in theatre. So you're going to go put together your act and come and present. And marketing is supposed to be one of the main things. You have to ensure you fill up the theatre with your funds. So we help financially, because there's a red carpet experience, and then they get in and present. We try to put aside a budget to help them, but if you want anything extraordinary, you have to find a sponsor for that. So we are trying to make them love theatre so much, to belong to theatre, and ensure that there's a next generation of theatre performers.
So what happens, like, in these productions, do they write their own productions?
They get, if you're not a writer, you get a writer to do what they are doing correctly.
Okay.
The good thing is we've trained some people, and we trained others during the workshops, and they did a tremendous job. So they create new projects, and if you're not a writer, you get a writer. If you're not a director, you get a director. You get a stage manager, you get a producer, you get everybody, a team, a complete team.
What happens if your producer is like, I actually want Mariam Ndagire in my lead role?
we told them that we don't want to shadow, like to take their thunder. We want to be on their side. But if the worst comes to the worst and they really need you there, you'll come. But we don't want to appear. We don't want, because this is something to throw a light on them, so that people see that they do exist, not to live in our shadows. Yes.
And so far you've done 2?
Yes, we've done 2. We've done for Farida Navagirika, and we've done for Veronica Nakayo.
So how are you selecting these new starlets?
We picked them from the people who attended the workshop, and we did not say that we are picking you, but we told them whoever is interested and feels they can do this, we told them the format, and those who are interested are the ones who came up, and we gave out all the Fridays in the year. So we have
I've actually seen it.
Yes, we have a poster, so that you have to be reminded that I am of this month. And every Friday night, that is the lights are happening on one of them. All of them have to be here. All 12.
Okay.
Yes, they have to. No, not 12, because some are 2. All of them have to be here, and they walk the red carpet, and we tell them these are the next ones. So yeah, we are trying to breed a new generation and try to make them own it, not just having them there to act our plays, but they have to be the performing artist who is holistic.
By any chance, do you know the future of these productions they are working on? Like, what's going to happen to them after they've been presented here on Friday nights?
What I'm encouraging them is to make to get a weekend, to make the presentation into a weekend, because this is a one day, one show thing. So I'm encouraging them that your play was good. You can have a 2-hour or 1.5-hour project out of it, or you can take it as it is and you have a whole weekend presenting. It is something people can watch. So I'm looking at them. Some of them are telling me they want to make movies out of the production.
Yeah.
Movies. So I'm just watching them. I definitely will not just leave them to sit back. We want to see them grow into real production people, performing artists and thespians.
So, to end it off, I think you've had people say theater is dead, and at times it's so hard to argue with them. Because, yeah, there were times you could put up a fight. No, theater is not dead, but at times it becomes very hard to argue with them because you do not have a fight to put up. How exactly not even exactly, but how can we try to bring theater back?
This Friday Night Lights is one of them, because we are trying to bring a new breed of practitioners who are going to be passionate, and will do things that will not resurrect. We are not dead. Theater was just in limbo and not buried, but just loitering in limbo. And now when we see the Friday Night Light stars walking around and doing their thing, we feel like it is back to life. And the other product that I have is I'm going back to the schools to create school clubs that are going to be called the School Theatre and Performing Arts Clubs. And we have already 7 schools on board, and we are going to...
Which one are they, by any chance?
The schools?
Yeah, the schools.
We have Emma High, we have Mbogo High, we have our neighbors, the Kololo High School. We have Kawanda SS. Have I said that?
No.
Did I say it?
No, not before.
We have Queen of Matters in Bolindo. Bolindo.
Oh.
Yes. What else do we have? What I know is there are 8, but those are some of them.
Oh.
So I'm going into these schools. I have the students that have been at Mariam Ndagire Film and Performing Arts Center are going to lead the trainings in collaboration with the school patrons, because the schools have their patrons. So we are going to work with these students to create a project, a play with a theme, and we shall be presenting in their school with a red carpet experience.
Okay.
Yes, at the launch of their project, we will have a red carpet affair, and they walk the carpet and feel like stars, and then they do their presentation. And in the second term, that will be happening in first term. In second term, we are going to go into a festival among the schools. Yes, they will present, and the winners will go away with awards, prizes, and certificates, and all that.
A school festival, that sounds amazing.
Yes, and because we started it this year, we are hoping that by next year it will be blown out. It will be bigger. Yeah.
No, final one.
Yes.
No, I see you have this book.
Yes.
You put up a production about, was it from the book?
Yes.
Last year.
Yes, that production. The play is called Ensozi. I was launching the book last year.
Okay.
And this is a project that was adapted from Down This Road I Walk. The movie.
Oh.
Yes.
Your first film.
Yes, my first film. I wrote a Luganda play out of it.
Okay.
And this Luganda play was what's that person? Muluganda tugamba gukwanjuliddwa. What's that person? What does he do in the book? No.
Forward.
The forward was written by Aloysius Matovu Joy, the Luganda maestro.
Okay.
Because he had to look at the book and tell me, because he's a playwright. He has been here. He has been my teacher at Trinity College in Abingo. He was my teacher. So I felt it right for him to write the forward, and it got a wonderful reception during the launch of the book. So this year, 1 year later, we are bringing it to Bat Valley Theatre to present it once again. to the audience, to our audience, and see if the reception we got at the National Theatre
Will be the
is
same.
any different.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know how different it will be, but we are hoping that it will be well received.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
I didn't have the whole story like it was.
Okay.
This is just a bit of it where the girl was forced into marriage.
Okay.
That's the only bit that I have. It's a struggle between a girl child not being given a chance to go to school because they think she has to be married off, and how she fights.
And thank you very much for the time and everything.
Thank you.